Hi, I'm Marek Sapukanikan, and we're balling today, tomorrow, and most definitely yesterday. At what cost? Let's just try to contain ourselves here. Let's not take it over the top. We don't need to take it all the way over the top. We don't need to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to stay casual about it. We need to stay casual about this. No big deal. No big deal about how our lives are going back into the regular routine of life. This is when we've been in La Fairytale Land, when now it's all been warm and dandy. Now we're going back into real life. And isn't the real deal so authentically beautiful? Yes, it will be cold. Yes, it will be dark. But God bless us all. We will have the NFL season. So when we get back into the regular routine of life, this is you start living it more and more. This is when you make the biggest improvements you need to make. This is when whatever mistakes you made during this sunshine time, whatever mistakes you made during those, now it's time for you. And for all these NFL teams, it's time for them to perform. And for the NFL fan, the NFL enjoyer, consumer, whatever you may call it, this is a way of life. That is life. Life exists when there's football around. When there's no football around, life doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all. However, before we get into the regular way of life, real quick, what just went down in Italy, in Spaghetti Land? I think I'm cool with it. What just happened? Because talk about that real Sunday Italian gravy, that red sauce. That was the ultimate Italian red sauce on a Sunday. Your grandma made it with a loving soul. This is what we're talking about. I mean, it's a complete. The Sunday gravy was that good that now it has altered the whole F1 season after the weekend in Monza. Red Bull, they have, let me get down to brass tacks, they have 446 points. And after Monza, McLaren are now at 438 points. 8 points right behind, chasing with a more consistent point scoring duo of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. And then after what the Ferraris just did, let's just say they're also competing as well. They're sitting at a 407. So Charles Leclerc wins. Charles Leclerc has enabled Ferrari to even be possibly fighting for the top step. Maybe not. Maybe. Who knows? At this point, who knows? Because who knew that Prince Charles Leclerc was going to win that one in front of the home Ferrari crowd? Who thought? The McLarens weren't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. Think about it. Even during the race, Sainz had pitted later than Leclerc on the second set of tires, which they ended up only doing the one stop, which got Leclerc to win the race. But I thought Sainz still had a better chance than Leclerc, and still somehow this guy, he pulls it off. Oh my. Every Monaco, he had all the pressure to get the pole and win. He did that. Here, he had all the pressure again. The only chance, right? People, unfortunately, Ferrari, they don't really care about Sainz no more. Think about it. He just hit 302. He's an old man going to, a shittier team. Who the fuck cares about Sainz? You know what I'm saying? My poor guy. Anyways, Leclerc has been the face of Ferrari pretty much since 2019. And look at him. Look at what he can do. He did it in 2019. He does it this year. Against, I would say, they had a small upgrade. I don't think they had a huge upgrade. They just had a bit of an upgrade, Ferrari. And Leclerc was able to do that against the McLarens. I think this is when Ferrari is going to be considered the X factor if we want to look at the Drivers' Championship, right? Lando Norris possibly chasing Max Verstappen down from the lead. Leclerc in the Ferrari and possibly Sainz in the Ferrari. They're going to be the X factors. If Norris really wants to be taking that number one spot, it's got to be because there's Ferraris and Piastri in between them, and then Verstappen more than a few down from Norris. So, I give Leclerc so much shit. I thought he was only going to get pole but not win the race. He literally, he doesn't even get pole, but he won the race. But this makes me think that are they still playing some dirty long game with Vasseur? Is Leclerc so good that he's been sandbagging, and the only reason why he's won the two most important is just because he just had to, and then he was like, okay, maybe I won't sandbag, but they're all sandbagging just for Lewis Hamilton to join the team, and then they win next year. Am I just predicting the next year and a half as well? I do not know, because this is absolutely insane. I think they're sandbagging. Leclerc is so good that it makes me think Ferrari is sandbagging, because then that would explain why my boy Sainz isn't doing too hot recently. Oh no. Hey, look, it would make sense. You don't want to. Hey, look, all I'm saying is if Lewis Hamilton goes into a Ferrari car and that Ferrari car isn't fighting for wins, then it's really no bueno for anybody, for Ferrari or for Lewis Hamilton, or for the sport even, But let's talk about the start of the race, okay? Because that's what people are fixated on. I mean, I can't believe people are so mind blown. But however, Piastri and Norris have a dick measuring contest, because for all the new fans, or for the fans that just simply don't understand the concept of the sport, it's the sport of no, fuck you, dude. I'm the shit. Like, that's all. We're going to be casual about this episode. That's all it is. Piastri is thinking, look, listen, buddy. Listen, buddy. I want to win some races too. And I'll do my best to score the most points and possible. And that's it. And Norris just can't understand that concept. Neither can fans. Piastri, like every other driver, just wants to do their possible best every single race weekend. Norris can't grasp that, and it worries me only because Norris should be the one that clearly has this mentality. And it's everyone else that has to convince me they possibly... Norris has to be out there like Vettel. He has to be out there like Vettel, like Max Verstappen. It's like, nah, dude. Like, I'll just take it right out of you. Vettel did... This is why I almost... Little side note here. I am a little bit emotional. Red Bull might be losing out because I think they've done something that... in the modern era, at least, of F1, that no other constructor has been able to do. And you think about, look, the thing is, Ferrari, yes, they won, but they just kind of dominated through a bunch of years, right? They got that 2007 one with Kimi, right? There was the Renaults in between, and then there was Mercedes dominance all that way. But however, Red Bull were dominating, right? At one point with Vettel. They went through the dominance of Mercedes, and then they came back to dominate once again with Max Verstappen. That's something that a team hasn't been able to do, is be able to win constructors and drivers consecutive years, in two different eras. They are on another level. And get this, Ferrari, they make cars. Mercedes, they make cars. Renault, they make cars. McLaren, they make cars, right? Red Bull don't make cars. Red Bull make energy drinks, which I have to say are very lovely. Blueberry, one of my favorite flavors for a very long time. Wink, wink. Norris needs to drive like Vettel, because you think about how good Mark Webber was against Vettel one-on-one. However, Vettel was the top dog in the end. Same thing with Max Verstappen. All throughout these years, there was never a contention. He's the number one dog, and he's up there just winning and winning and winning, and Norris needs to do the same. I love Norris. I see his full potential, but I see that same potential in Oscar Piastri, and Piastri's fresher in a F1 car. So, Norris, do what you got to do, man. I believe in you. There's still a third of the season left now, officially 8 races to go. Just win them all. Win them all. Give 1 or 2 to Piastri, and you can win. You can win the whole freaking thing, Norris. All right. And I got that out of the way. There you go. So let's go back into the modern way of life. Because this is what we've needed. This is what we've actually ultimately longed for. And we're going to be casual about this, because I'm going to embark you all on a journey with me. A historical lesson, if you will. A historical... Because the NFL is the constant through time, and modern history. (1941) December 8th. U.S. declares war on Japan. The day before was the Pearl Harbor attacks. And December 21st, so less than 2 weeks after the Pearl Harbor attacks, in Chicago, Illinois, at Wrigley Field, the hometown Chicago Bears defeat the New York Giants 37-9 to win the 9th annual championship game of the NFL. The Japs were methed up, shooting up U.S. Marine bases in Hawaii. Chicago Bears defeat the New York Giants 37-9 to win the championship. In 1965, U.S. announces plans to dispatch 200,000 soldiers to Vietnam during the Cold War. The 1966 NFL season was the first season to have the Super Bowl. So a year after, they sent out 200,000 U.S. soldiers to Vietnam to fight in the Vietnam War against communism and a fight for the freedom land, freedom world freedom. Year after that, U.S., the NFL, and the AFL, they get together. They're like, okay, let's see who's the best, because we need the best out of everyone to prove that we're united, not like those Vietnamese. There's the North and the South. We're united through the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl unites the United States even more. There you go. And Green Bay Packers defeat the Kansas City Chiefs 35-10, and Green Bay Packers become the first team in the NFL to win a Super Bowl. January 14th, 1973, Miami Dolphins beat the Washington Redskins 14-7 at Super Bowl VIII to become the first and only team to go undefeated through the regular season, through the postseason, and win the Super Bowl. So pretty much just flawless season all around. 10 days later, after one of the most dominant sports franchise performances, January 27th, 1973, Vietnamese Communist forces and the U.S. come to an agreement to end the war. So, when U.S. was the strongest, or that Miami cocaína just got too good, and the U.S. said, we can't deal with the Vietnamese. We got to start dealing with the Brazilians, the cartels in South America. Never mind. It's just jokes here, ladies and gentlemen. U.S. Vietnam War ends a couple weeks after we see the most dominant NFL team of all time. In September 11th, 2001, multiple terror attacks have been committed towards innocent U.S. citizens, including the World Trade Center incident, which affects the U.S. as a nation, rocks the U.S. as a nation, and bonding over a common enemy, patriotism at an all-time high, February 3rd, 2002, still under half a year from the September 11th attacks. Super Bowl 36 takes place in New Orleans, Louisiana, with U2 honoring the victims of 9/11. The Home Office Homeland Security declared this Super Bowl a national special security event. And the New England Patriots defeat the St. Louis Rams 20-17 to win the Super Bowl. The Patriots win the Super Bowl during one of the most patriotic times in the United States in modern history. In 2008, the financial sector had put the world into an economic crisis. Let me say that again. The financial sector had put the world into an economic crisis while the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Arizona Cardinals 27-23 at Super Bowl 43. And this Super Bowl 43 was dubbed as the Recession Bowl, with 200 fewer journalists and many major corporations not being seen during the Super Bowl. It was in fact so bad that Playboy couldn't host their Super Bowl party no more. Oh man, there was not enough money for the Playmates, for all the rich guys. The rich guys were even suffering through the Recession Bowl. In 2017, January 20th, Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States. And on the February 5th, again, a few weeks later, in Texas, at Super Bowl 52, the New England Patriots pull off the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history, coming back from being down 28-3. It's called the 28-3 game. They pulled a comeback against Atlanta Falcons, and the game ended 34-28. So with all this being said, if Donald Trump, if we learn anything here today, with all this being said, if Donald Trump wins this election Patrick Mahomes is about to make a comeback in the Super Bowl to make a 3 in a row. That's it. That's it. We want to talk about the constant through modern history. That's Patrick Mahomes in modern NFL history. Tom Brady is retired, right? Yes, I know he's saying that he's still training to maybe, if there's a chance one day, I don't know. Right, okay, but let's just assume he's not at least joining in this season, right? Patrick Mahomes is going to do. We're talking about the constants through time. Time moves on, but there is a constant. Donald Trump has just been one of those men that have stood still while time moves on. So has the NFL. US going through all changes through time. NFL staying there. If Donald Trump gets real, Patrick Mahomes is going to go off. I'm not saying there's something related there. I'm just saying that there's a possibility. There's a possibility Patrick Mahomes just might go down, let's just say 30-2. 29-2 or something in the Super Bowl. And then he's going to make the comeback because that's all. It's history repeats itself. Okay, but how does the landscape of the NFL look like overall? Let's just we don't have to jump into that. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Who's going to win it? Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs, 3 in a row. You know, we're trying to let the history teach us something here, okay? But let's just go through each of the divisions by themselves. AFC East. Let's start with that. This is how I got the AFC. Number 1 is Dolphins. Number 2 is the Bills. Number 3, New York Jets. And number 4, New England Patriots. You might be wondering why the Dolphins. Well, if you haven't noticed, I'm trying like a little Asian Mike McDaniel look right now. I think it's working well, you know. I purposely didn't shave my. It's like a casual like, oh, I forgot to shave my face, but not really. I didn't forget. I did it on purpose. Like, yeah. And then the shades, of course. Hair's a little bit messy. You know, not perfect. And we're just in some loose gear. Right? We're just casual with it. Mike McDaniels has done the best coke of his life, and now he's finally loosening up. Because all that, he does such good cocaine and all the time where he's just now the actual sport itself doesn't concern him anymore. He gets pretty uptight with it. Now when he's on the field, he's pretty loose now. I'm kidding, guys. That joke went too far. I would never disrespect my GOAT like this, okay? You know why it is? It's because the man is not vaping anymore. In fact, he has pretty much gone to the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to nicotine. Because nicotine is great. Nicotine makes you think. Nicotine connects these thoughts in your brain that you can never usually come up with. It helps with creativity. That's why writers and poets, they all just chain smoke to death. All right. Now, the NFL or the Miami Dolphins, they told him, look, brother, you can't vape on the sideline anymore. And I know there is a big audience out there who's like, well, guess what? Mike McDaniels is now going to switch to zinning. But no, the whole problem with the vaping as well is they just don't want that visual. They don't want you to see him actually do the thing. Zinning, yes, I'm sure some people can hide it pretty well. I know guys who can hide it well. However, I researched the way his face shape, it's not, you're gonna be able to see it, especially when there's just, the cameras are too high quality, right? You don't want to even give the audience any room for speculation, okay? So what Mike McDaniels has done is finally accepted that, okay, vapes aren't cool. He's a man at the end of the day. Vaping, if you're a man, it doesn't go hand in hand, right? Choose one. So now he has gone to the real Cuban roots of Miami. And this guy probably smokes a 2-hour cigar stogie before game time. Or he smokes stogies just when he's thinking of coming up with plays, coming up with whatever, game plans. He's just smoking those Cubanos. He's just smoking big Cubanos, because if anyone knows anything about cigars, the nicotine high you get from cigars, stronger and realer than any other nicotine high you can get. All right. And that is why Dolphins are arguably going to be contending for the Super Bowl spot. AFC North. Here we go. Number 1, we got Bengals. Number 2, we got Ravens. Number 3, we got Browns. Number 4, we have the Steelers. Every team is competitive. I think it's going to be very similar to last year, where every single team of the AFC North pretty much have a positive record. However, the team with the starting white boy is going to win it all. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson Jr. I'm sorry, Deshaun. I'm sorry, Jameis. I'm sorry, Russ. I'm sorry, Russ. Even Justin Fields. But Joe Burrow runs all you. And I'm not gonna. Joe Burrow. I'm sorry. It's wasn't it White Boy Summer anyways? It's gonna start off like that, and yeah. He's going to be balling out. AFC South. Number 1, I got the Texans. Number 2, I got the Colts. Number 3, I got the Jaguars. Number 4, I've got the Titans. I think, like always in the South, it's a free-for-all shootout after each and every week. The team with the newest, fully loaded gun and a sensational gunslinger is the Texans. CJ Stroud is the gunslinger. And either if they're the guns themselves or the bullets, or if CJ Stroud's going to be throwing the bullets, it's going to be to Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. There's still other guys. Insane. I'd be very scared of the Texans if I were you. AFC West. Number 1 is the Chiefs. Number 2, Broncos country. Number 3, the Chargers. And number 4, the Raiders. Kansas City Chiefs. It's the Championship Eras Tour. Eras Tour, yes, queen, yes, slay, queen, yes. Go for it. Oh my God. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, one of the best defenses, whatever. All of them are the best. They got the fastest freaking. Didn't they get the fastest freaking rookie wide receiver? Like, what? What? But Broncos country. Let's ride. Okay, look. I was a Russell Wilson fan. I am a Russell Wilson fan. I still think the Steelers are going to end up with a positive record no matter what everyone is saying about them right now. However, I think the same for the Broncos. I think Bo Nix is sensational. I think they can build quite a lot with Sean Payton. He's a stubborn man, but god damn it, he's good at what he does. So Denver Broncos country. Let's ride. And we're moving on over to the NFC East. Okay, number 1, we got the Eagles. Number 2, we got the Cowboys. Number 3, we got the Commanders. Number 4, we've got the Giants. It hurts to say, but let the eagle soar like it's never soared before. Yeah. NFC North. Number 1, I've got the Lions. Number 2, I've got the Packers. Number 3, I've got the Bears. Number 4, I've got the Vikings. I think this division is highly competitive, and I think each one of them have possibilities and will upset top teams if they're matched up against them. And I think it somehow aligns themselves. Detroit is on fire right now. Eminem is making a huge comeback. So I don't see a reason why Lions would be slowing down either. So good on Detroit, good on the Lions, and good luck on the season. NFC South. NFC South, again, quite crazy. Like the AFC South, the South really doing their thing. I've got them ranked number 1 Falcons, number 2 Saints, number 3 Buccaneers, and number 4 Panthers. Why the Falcons? Why Atlanta Falcons? Kirk Cousins flourishes when there's great African American support. He will flourish together with the city of Atlanta, while the other teams will ruin my Sunday night football parlays. I believe in it. I believe Saints, Buccaneers, Panthers. They're going to piss me off a few times with just, oh, yeah, this is an easy pick. Should be an easy win. Oh, no. Oh, Baker Mayfield still balling out. Saints, they still got ballers there. Panthers, there's that one country guy who's hilarious as hell. But yeah, that's how the NFC South is looking. Lastly, NFC West. I have number 1, 49ers. Number 2, Rams. Number 3, Cardinals. Number 4, Seahawks. Rams or the 49ers will be Super Bowl champions this year if Kamala Harris wins the election? Yep. Because California is really in a state where, yes, it's Kamala Harris land. However, Kamala Harris land is getting their players shot. The 49ers, a 49ers players got shot, because that's how San Francisco really is. However, one of those crazy guys actually ended up in a quite better neighborhood somehow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Kamala Harris ends up winning and she, gets total control of California, she's going to go first to Rams and the 49ers and say, hey, look, listen, I'll just give you the Super Bowl win. Just let me know what I gotta do for you. There you go. NFC champions. I think it's gonna be Lions. I think the NFC champions is gonna be the Lions. The Lions are going to the Super Bowl. I feel like they're just the most aggressive out of every single other top team in the NFC. And I think Dan Campbell is the only head coach who plays like he has nothing to lose. All the other coaches nowadays kind of slowly feel like they're playing much more cautiously, or they're just so young, or whatever it may be. I think Dan Campbell's gonna take the Detroit Lions all the way to the Super Bowl. On the AFC side, it's the Dolphins, because I think they're the only team in the AFC who have fun when they're playing. They're having fun. They're adapted to play in very, very, high heat if there's but then they're very thankful if they could get play somewhere where it's cold, because they've been just dying to the heat. If you've just been in hot, of course you're going to appreciate some cold. So, the weather, dude. I'm telling you right now, the Lions and the Dolphins are going to see each other in the Super Bowl at the end of the year. So let me write this down right here. NFC is going to be Lions, and AFC is going to be Dolphins. And the Dolphins are the only one who they're having fun where they're playing. I think at this point for the Chiefs, it's because it's expected. They've had all their fun now already. They need to get their fun from somewhere else. Travis Kelce is getting his fun from Taylor Swift now, not from football. Patrick Mahomes, God knows if Patrick Mahomes has any fun in life, considering the wife he has. No, I'm kidding. Whoa. Andy Reid, are hamburgers even enjoyable for you anymore? At this point, it probably is a health concern. So, I feel like the Dolphins, they're just having fun. Mike McDaniel is having fun now. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even give a gosh darn. Tyreek Hill, he has kids with 10 different baby mamas. He has, he has 4 new, 5 new, 6 new, this just in 7 new kids the last 2 months. The only fun he can get is through freaking catching a deep ball from Tua Tagovailoa, right? The Dolphins are going all the way, man. I'm telling you right now. Regular season MVP, I'm putting it there. Joe Burrow is back. He has never left, and this is the season where he just shows you. Never even left, brother. Never even left. Rookie of the season, offensive rookie of the season, I have it going to Caleb Williams. You know what? Maybe Chicago needs a nail painting black quarterback because fucking, there you go. Defensive rookie of the year, Joe Alt, just because, fucking guy looks like a legend. Offensive player of the year this upcoming year. Well, if these guys are supposed to go all the way to Super Bowl, the only way they can do that is if they have my boy Tyreek Hill just absolutely throwing backflips on backflips on backflips after every single touchdown, because the more touchdowns he gets, the more bonuses he gets, and he needs a lot of bonuses now to be able to pay for all the child support. Defensive player of the year, I have it to Nick Bosa. I just feel like 49ers defense are just going to be on another level, like a scary level this year, So, yeah, there you go, to put it simplified. Passing leader. Who's going to pass? I have this going towards CJ Stroud. I just think that out of efficiency in the wide receivers, I think it might just be the Texans this year, and CJ Stroud might. He does not fear. He is sensational. So, passing leader going to CJ Stroud. Rushing leader, I have going towards Saquon Barkley, because Eagles are really good at the running game. Now they don't have to run their quarterback anymore. They can actually run a running back. I think Saquon might just be unstoppable. And receiving leader, Tyreek Hill, because that's the only way he's going to get offensive player of the year as well. It's going to be Tyreek Hill year. It's going to be the Dolphins year. Broncos are making it into the playoffs. I don't know how to put this. There's matchups. It's the first week. I mean, that's the first time I've said this in the pod. It's the first week of the NFL. I don't think I said that yet. It's the first week of the NFL. Ravens playing Chiefs. Thursday Night Football is the first game of the season. Giving it to the Chiefs. Whatever. However. Packers, Eagles. Actually, no. You know what? I can give it to the Packers. For real. I'll give it to the Packers. And then a bunch of other games. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think it's too early. Like, it doesn't even seem real anymore. It's like I really got to just let it happen first. And then it seems more real. Because, yeah, it's been a 365 pretty much. And here we are again. And I don't know. I'm just emotional, I'm going to be living again. It's going to feel like I'm alive. Ladies and gentlemen, NFL Week 1. God bless. Oh, God bless. God bless. And I'll get back to you guys next week with a little bit more emotion. I don't know. I just, This is just beautiful. I'll talk more about fantasy next week. Just enjoy. This is so beautiful. Oh my God. Ballin' at one cost. See you guys next week.